Hello teacher, this is Alejandro Bocanegra and in this video is about torture and if it's justifiable or not. First of all, to begin with the subject, I consider it's important to define what is torture, which is, in a few words, any act by which severe pain or suffering, whether physical, intentional, obviously, or mental, inflicted on one person for such purposes as obtaining from person has committed or is suspected of having committed. This is the fact of the exercising of physical and mental, obviously, violence against a person, usually with the purpose of obtaining information or punish him, her for an act committed. As well, torture has been used since the history of mankind and has been highlighted historical moments such as the Inquisition, the Holocaust, and in two World Wars. To name a few, however, torture is not only used on a large scale, since we live in a society that is constantly harassed by violence of this kind. Especially in Mexico, national and international statistics show the brutal torture that this is carried out, especially by the police against detainees, which are rarely considered for arrest and trial. With the previous in mind, I can proceed to the question of whether torture is justifiable. I think that this issue is quite complicated because of the moral issues involved. Honestly, it took me sometimes to analyze that it and not be able to argue about the resounding yes or no. I argue that the torture is not justifiable because every human has a ontological dignity, of course, which implies that every person has a value by the simple fact being for a person, being a person. In this sense, which implies that has committed a crime or is suspected of it, he does not case to be a person. Therefore, should that not be deprived of his legal rights or moral status. Of course, he will have to be deprived of his freedom if so decided by a judge for the protection and justice of the society. But third parties, even if their public officials are not given freedom to violate his person in any way. As this consequence of the crimes, the law work to do justice. Therefore, strictly speaking, the police should not implement methods alien to what the law establishes. I believe that the violence generates more violence. And in these cases in which torture has been used for the greater good are for me an abuse of power and correspond to the ideology that so many lives are worth more than one. As people, we are the one to supremes the welfare, let alone of one person over another, and this does not mean that I am defending criminals. Of course not, but that is not morally. I think that it's not morally. It's the principal warranty, the protection. It's not morally right to torture them. I firmly believe that we should be wired on the basis of civilized society that respects the human rights, of course, of each and every person. It's the best way. Violence is not resolved by violence. And that's for, thank you for your attention.